Lays with worries lie with our steps. But after night we have no time. We gon' deal with that tomorrow. Tonight we going out and line. We gon' do a little soca.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And the time right now, SVG, it is 7:45, quickly approaching 7:46. And we are back with you for another commentary segment here on today's Activated Mornings program with Roleza and Dianna, with Dianna and Roleza, all right? This is usually the time when we get commentary from Mr. Kingsley DeFreitas. So, Kingsley, if you are listening and if you are able to call, you can go right ahead and give us a call at this time. All right, and while we wait for Kingsley, just in case, I know that there are some persons who may be wondering where was Nicole for the week. Well, I did make mention of it on Monday, but just in case persons missed it, she will be back with us next week, all right, as she was out for a bit attending a conference or conferences. So she will tell us when she comes back, all right? But that's the reason why you have not heard from her for the week. All righty, so I've seen no signs of Kingsley, so which means that we are going to go into another topic. All right, I'll go into a topic now. So remember that it is an interactive program. The number to call us is 457-9997. If you wish to be a part of the program, and let us know your views and your thoughts in relation to the discussions. So, keeping it in the realm of politics for just a little longer. All right, so I see that we have Joshua calling. Good morning, Joshua.
Good morning, ladies. It's Friday.
It
is. Amen.
Yes. I say that because for me, to be honest, sometimes I don't even know which day is which. When you don't have a job, every day is the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I get in political here. I listened to your voice and your sentiments earlier. Politicians need to raise the bar. Now, I'm going to call names because these are people who speak out publicly. When you go to the polls, you are not going to see names like 3 for 10 or the idiot, or the man we have here, the so-called such and such. You're not going to see those names. So for you politicians who are using nicknames or derogatory names in reference to your opponents, it is not going to work. It is working against you. You've got to raise the bar. Be respectful, because people are looking at you. When you have a politician, somebody who aspires to be prime minister, coming publicly and threatening, you call me name one more time, search me luggage, and you go see what me do to you. I'll come to Cali. We don't want to hear those things. Raise the bar. And I want to give a special thank you to Anita. You see me remember her name? For helping me out with my dukuna, Anita and others. I mean, I'm telling you, that turned out great. Men are not very smart. You getting this from me, I'm a man.
It's now you try pull me up yesterday about saying generalizing all men.
No, well, did you hear what I said? I said men are not. I'm speaking about myself, you know.
Oh, singular.
I didn't realize when you're making dukana, you have to soften the banana leaf. I tried it and the leaf kept breaking up. And one of my Facebook friends, well, quite a number of them sent me recipes, which really worked well. And I'm telling you, man, that dukana is nice. So I'm going to do it again. So thank you. Thank all of you guys.
Okay.
And you can't get none. You're not getting
It's okay. Thank you for offering still, Joshua.
Don't worry. I in the land where it have plenty people who make in. So
But I'm not actually a fan of
Okay.
Ducano. So if you want to take out my Vinci passport because of that, but I'm not a fan of Ducano. So it's okay,
I
Joshua.
love Ducano. So when we come to Vince, make sure you got some for me, Dianna.
all
She's-
right, Joshua.
Oh, you go. All right, so Joshua, we see that there's somebody who's agreeing with with what you said.
Boy, that is the men, eh? And
Wait,
it's not
wait, so-
women.
I honestly thought he was agreeing. My mind went back to Joshua's point about the politics, but I guess he's saying that men are not smart as well. All right, we not getting involved in that, okay? As women, we staying out. Good morning, Dave. Dave? Good morning, Dave.
Yeah, well, there seems to be a problem every time I call. There's a problem getting in there now. Anyhow,
Dave, let me ask you before you continue. Are men smart?
hi,
Are men smart?
I didn't hear you.
Are men smart? Dave?
What?
Okay, something wrong
I'm
with
not here. I'm hearing you saying something, but I'm not hearing you what you're saying.
I'm asking if men are smart.
Oh, that's a folly question as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, men smart. Yeah, women smart. Some people tend to man who would say woman smarter than man, and that's the other thing. So I need them cheap argument, cheap talk, right?
All right, go ahead, Dave.
I got up this morning and I was thinking about how Vincentians should have a real when you talk about creatives, we really should have a lot of dramatists, playwrights and all of that, for what you see happening in our country. Hardly happen in any other Caribbean island, although we have a similar history. And Dianna being the one, as I heard, interested in that, I think she can capitalize a lot. Why, for instance, there's drama. When I used to be around town, I am in town and see two women cussing one another for a man. For one man, two women cussing one another for one man. That's drama, because it creates, they cuss until they end up fighting too. I don't know. That's something for you to think about, Dianna. That's drama.
Dianna fight over man. Continue.
And caution. Oh, Lord. I love to be around, although I don't tolerate it, but I love to be around when two women cussing. The things they would tell one another, cheese and bread. And that's why it was sung wrong to hear two men cussing. If I hear two men cussing, I gone. I don't want to hear two men cussing because them sound like two auntie or two tanty, or they sound like two women. So I am just throwing out some stuff there, some material for you. I don't know.
Dave, what
I
it
don't
is?
know when you went to Barbados that I didn't hear you. I was to ask you about that a long time ago, What is it that made an impact going to Barbados to Carrie Festa? Because I've been there and I have seen some wonderful things at Carrie Festa in the past, right? And I don't know if you are going to look for drama as well, to build on your drama as a dramatist or whatever you are. If there is anything you identify distinct with Bajans. Because one of the first thing I know with Bajans, years ago, we had a Bajan girl dancing here in St. Louis and the Grenadines. And when she started to talk to me, she rang Bajan. I couldn't understand, So I was dancing on the dance floor and she having a conversation with me. And I just couldn't understand what she was saying. So I say that because some of us can't understand the Bajan twang. Some of us don't like it. Like for Dave Roberts, give me the Trini twang. Give me the Trini twang, man. If Nicole is hearing that, yeah, I love me Trini woman. All right. I just wanted, anyhow, you guys have a good weekend. And when the politics is concerned, keep the politics coming. See if you can lift the standard. But I have said what politics has done to our psyche and all of that. And it's sad. It's really sad. I don't think it could get better. So you all could try. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
All right, Dave. Have a good one. Boy, if it's one thing people on WhatsApp, this is real distractory, boy.
I feel like I have to put these two in particular in the naughty corner.
I'm seeing another man saying married men aren't smart. All right.
We didn't say it.
As I said, we staying out of that. All right. Just to touch on something that Dave ended off there with, in talk about wanting to lift these standards and that we could try. And well, I suppose in a sense, he's saying that we may not be able to succeed. You know, it's just kind of interesting where, you know, when you come to certain situations where the negative always wins, or negative tends to win a lot more. And sometimes you wonder who's going to be the agent of change to turn what might be negatives within society into what is the positive, right? So it's always interesting, like whenever somebody, and I'm not just talking about us here, and I'm not even just talking about politics, but when you have an individual who's out there trying to do good or trying to do better, or trying to break a cycle, a negative cycle, that one person who's trying to make that change is in such a minority that many persons say, well, you could try, but you ain't going to succeed, you know? But yeah, this is not me knocking you at it, but it's just the general thinking of many persons, which is quite unfortunate in a sense. All right. Do we have time to touch on this? Or maybe just as a one-liner. Yeah. So during election season, right? We know that this is the time of the time within the next 5 year, within the 5-year period where many persons tend to benefit, right? Whether we benefit as a collective, based on, let's say, artists are coming and, you know, somebody who we might not necessarily pay to see, or we want to see, but they're coming so we get to see them for free, right? So we're talking about what persons tend to call election gimmicks or things that happen during election times. Now, is it cheating to treat people, right? To treat the electorate. So when politicians or political parties, let's say they have their what do you call them? Their rallies, and they bring artists, or let's say they hand out, well, lumber is always one of the popular ones that the people tend to quote. They hand out lumber, they hand out galvanized, they hand out this, they hand out that. Is it cheating when they treat? All right. So what's your thoughts?
I don't think so. No. Treat them if you want to treat them. It's up to the people to decide if they are going to see beyond those treats, if they're going to allow the treats to blind them to whatever they need to really see. I don't have a problem with that. Bring the artists, them, please. Bring them for free. You know,
Cartel.
Some we don't mind if we consort, you know. So I have no problem with that. I don't mind people going. Listen, if they're giving away lumber, you go and get your lumber if you want lumber. If they're giving away this, you go and get that. If they're having a party here, they're having a meeting here, whoever is having the meeting, and you want to go, you go, unless you have that real deep fear of being labeled and you don't want to go, then fine. But either way, you go, but make sure you stay focused on your goal. You have to also listen to what the parties are saying, and if what they have in place for your country is the right thing.
Yeah, and I think they still need to do it, because they can't just have a political meeting and just talk about their policies only. That is not going to attract persons to the event, right? So they do have to find a way to mix it up, right? That's one of the things that I noticed. Well, I noticed it more with the ULP than, let's say, the NDP. But whenever this is that they're doing their political speeches, that they interject music into it, right? So gives, okay, so it gives a little bit of a break in the, I suppose, the monotony of a speech where they interject music that persons can relate to, persons can sing along to, right? But they have to do it.
Yep.
I too am in agreement with Dianna. If the things they to get, take them, right? You take them, right? But you have to keep your head on and realize that it is going to be more than just that temporary, the temporary gain. You have to think about the long-term policies and how they're going to impact on not just your life, but the life of your child or your children and your grandchildren to come. All right. But they do have to find a way to mix it up to be able to engage us as citizens and to make us interested in listening to many of these speeches. So I can't fault them. I was talking with a friend recently, right? So you know how we always joking around and saying how cartel come in. Cartel come in. All right. This is not right. We everybody is convinced that cartel is coming. But
like how a couple of years ago we were convinced Buju was coming. They had this thing when I remember, I remember very well.
But it's true. But
Buju was coming.
Buju could possibly come to us. Yeah, we just never know.
Yeah, as much as you want.
Might be a nice reggae fest, but but my friend was there talking, and he is insisting that he's not voted for the ULP, but he's saying, you think if Carter come me and going?
But of course
he's going, but that is the thing. But and that's why I always say as well too that political parties, they need to be mindful of how they quote certain things when they talk about numbers showing up at their events, because numbers showing up based on the reason why a person's going is not necessarily an insight as to how many supporters they have, but it could just possibly mean that persons like maybe the artists who are coming or whatever activity is happening. So yeah, just something there, right? But we don't think that treating is cheating. Okay, so just something there.
Maybe somebody could say one person has more money than others to do the treating, but listen, treat people as much as you can with whatever resources you have. Simple.
And that's the thing, because
make the best of it.
But so if you look at the case of, it would take a considerable amount of money to bring cartel, right? So for the party that may not, or whoever may not have as much money, you can have an activity with just bare local artists, right? Yeah. Make it a carnival 2 point something, whatever, right? You could do that. So it doesn't mean that they have to spend this big set of money to bring in a foreign act. We are just as appreciative of the local acts as well. So, they have to find creative ways. Good morning, Primus. Primus says, I want to be on the live on Friday. You ladies are more happy and upbeat on a Friday. Listen, when we don't have to wake up early tomorrow morning, we must be happy. All right, so with that, we are heading on out of this segment. Time here in SVG, it is 8:03.